On this week's episode of the Superhero Show, we'll find out if Vanessa Fisk can hammer as good as her husband.
If Vanessa Fisk can dance with Matt as good as her husband.
And if Vanessa Fisk is truly Daredevil born again. All of that and more on an all-new episode of the Superhero Show. Hello, nerds, and welcome to the Superhero Show, the only podcast on the internet that talks about the TV shows based on comic books that I want to talk about. But it can't just be me doing it. I can't be alone. I can't monologue. I have to have my good friend Cassie. Oh, okay. Cassie is not here tonight. Otherwise, she would have done the intro. So I'm going to call Mike real quick. Mike, are you there? Are you on the horn?
I'm here on the horn, Ryan.
That is a very crystal clear horn you've got talking to me.
Oh, it's flawless. It's made of a 10-carat diamond, this crystal horn.
Now, typically, when Cassie's not here... I'm sorry, what?
Swarovski, the crystal company.
Somebody's been shopping in the fancy malls. Do you, where you live, do you have, like, you go this way for your fancy mall and this way for, like, your piece of shit mall where most of the stores are closing?
Park Meadows or Cherry Creek? Is that what you're asking? Yes.
It's just like, that's the number one local question. Everyone who lives there knows this is the good mall, this is the trash mall.
Which mall has Spencer's Gifts? Because
trash mall.
Yes. No. That's what I was saying. But that's where, like, that's the one I'd hang out with as a kid.
Right. Which mall has hot dog on a stick, and which mall has hot dog on crystal diamonds? That second one is the fancy mall.
Oh.
Yeah, just so you know. Normally when Cassie's not here, you host, but you wanted me to do it tonight? What's up with that, buddy? What's up?
You know what it is? Do you know what's up? It's been a hot second. I feel like it's been most of the season of a specific show, and I have no idea how you feel about it. So I was just like, I'm going to throw him in the hot seat, and that means host this show. Take it away. Now,
I know, unfortunately, you don't mean Spider-Man the Animated Series, which is going to have to wait for a week. But are you ready to fucking dive in? And when I say dive in, I mean little clip on the nostrils, swim cap to protect your hairs, and like on a diving board and dive into the pool that is Daredevil Born Again.
And of course, the tiniest Speedo.
Oh, I forgot. No, I was just the hat and the nose thing for me. Otherwise, butt-ass naked.
Okay, because you're not going to dive well because that big flopping dong is going to put a lot of strain. What's it called? Like drift?
It sucks because when the top half of my body hits, there's just such a tiny splash. But when the big flopping dong hits, whoosh.
It's weird to have the perfect dive and then a belly flop behind you of just like your blue whale of a cock.
Is it true that people who wear Speedos are doing that just because they don't have a big floppy dong?
I've heard.
Should we get to Daredevil?
We probably should.
I don't want this floppy dong talk to last one more second. When we come back, Daredevil Born Again. On the final 3 episodes of Daredevil Born Again, Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk solve the city's Muse problem before turning their sights on each other. But Wilson Fisk may not be Matt's arch nemesis, as Matt learns that Vanessa Fisk has been pulling the strings for a while, including hiring Bullseye to kill Feige. Taste buds, I ask you this. Let's say Daredevil pulls out his billy club and he's swinging through the air on a dark night in Hell's Kitchen. Once he's done swinging and he spies a rooftop on which to land, does he stick that landing?
I was just so strapped in for the story of it all that I did not even see that coming.
Was it weird that my story had focus and so you were entertained by it?
What show could you be talking about? Now, no. There were some great highs of this season. The beloved around these parts, episode 5, which is the bank episode. That fucking ruled. There's other moments I'm sure we enjoyed. There's even moments in these last 3 episodes we enjoyed, but maybe if you completely film a show and then tear it down and start again, but still use some pieces from that first thing you filmed, it's not going to come out right.
Now, okay, well, let's get right to this shit. Instead of talking about the show, we have to talk about the fact that there was some kerfuffles about the first 6 episodes that were filmed. Mm-hmm. And what we know now is that episodes 2 through 7 was the original show.
Okay.
And 1, 8, and 9 were added and all directed by the same directors. And what I'm wondering is that if back in the day, we would just never hear about this stuff and we would never notice. Like, right. Did hearing the story make us think that this is wonky as shit?
One, especially the first 10 minutes of everything's gonna be happy forever. Hated it. That fight scene was cool, and that's kind of it. And then, yeah, maybe I liked 2 through 7. Or at least 2 through 6. I liked a lot of moments of it. It didn't feel like a complete story. And I was like, oh, maybe they're going to do the thing Netflix does where like season 1, second half of season 1 comes back in November. But no, we have to wait a full year.
Do you know who did not like it?
Who?
Vinny D and Chucky Cox.
Oh, the 2 through 7?
Yeah, they because what it was an episodic procedural of a blind man as a lawyer in New York. Hell's Kitchen, more specifically. And they thought it was trash. And so what they did was argue to the point where now we have episodes 1, 8, 9. And so like this is where we hear more about Foggy. I think that Muse was supposed to be the one through line for the entire season, but it is shunted in this way.
Because it wasn't fully episodic, but it wasn't fully serialized, Muse always felt like kind of a waste. Like he's so scary. Oh, he's gone real quick. And so that did feel off. Versus like White Tiger, the shadow that like he building up to what he was, and then the shadow of the rest of the season, I thought that worked out very well. So I put that as the strength column. But yeah, the Muse, they really fumbled. Everything with Bullseye, I think, worked. Still have no idea if Matt smashed Poindexter's face to the point that he knew a tooth would come out to let him go. Don't know if Matt's that calculating.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about it. Tell me about what happens in the scene.
So he goes to see Dex in prison because he's been in solitary confinement for a year or whatever, and now he's in Gen Pop. And some people are like, oh, they're trying to kill Bullseye. Matt is like, I think he's going to kill everybody else. But also he's just like, wait, I think Fisk hired you. And so he's trying to interrogate them, but they're both doing that thing where like, here's what I want, but I can't just say what I want. So like, I guess Matt is fully saying what he wants is tell me they'd fight. But Poindexter's like, do something for me. What are you going to do for me? So Matt has a anger attack and smashes his face interrogation style. And Bullseye says, thank you. And Matt screams, fuck you, in a way that he's angry at what he did. Not because he lost control, but I think he's like, no, I fully just let Bullseye escape.
But in a way that like made me hit back on my remote control to be like, what app am I watching? Oh, this is not Max, where things like where language is taken to the max. Somebody on Disney Plus was just like, the response to thank you was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
How about that? But yeah, he did say thank you as if he knew that
he won.
And like the fact that he got his head smashed so hard that a tooth was now able to be spit out of his mouth was going to get him his release. Which, did you watch the end credits as well? The post credits?
Yes. The super brutal. He did so end credits. The Punisher broke a guy's arm off to use as a weapon and unpick the lock. That's what I think I saw.
There's nothing more baller than saying, I'm going to slap you with your own hand. You just tear it off and hit him with it. But like, there's that whole thing of like,
that's my dream.
And this is, to me, this is like John Barenthal's sort of typecasting of like, buddy, what's up? You know, we're dudes. We're old homies. Yeah. Come here. Give me a handshake. And you're like, I don't trust you or like you. I think that you're a bit of an alpha and your sort of masculinity scares me. But I'm still going in for that handshake. I still want him to like me. And then I die because of it. Let's talk about Bernthal for a moment, because I really hated his first scene when he was like,
a mess Frank with a beard. And it felt like he lost touch with the character. Whoever wrote him didn't get the character. And I just mean, there's been versions of Punisher. I just mean the Punisher we met in Daredevil season 2 and then had his own seasons, which is one of the best versions of Punisher. They gave him humanity, but his motivation is anytime he thinks he should stop, he thinks of his 8-year-old dead kid who goes, "Get him, daddy," and said candy ass. It felt like a parody. It was Mad TV level of this is what the Punisher is. I know other people really disliked when he came back, and him and Daredevil kind of had like a tete-a-tete, and like we're doing like, but it wasn't like Marvel quippy. It still felt real. I liked it a lot. And idiots are like, and he got captured. That was so dumb. I am in the belief that this was all part of Punisher's plan. Like, he went in with barely a weapon to get captured to take people out from the inside. Because we know we're getting a Punisher one shot, and I think it's going to be him against the fanboys from the inside.
Interesting. I hear what you're saying, but I also think that such a big part of Marvel, and to a lesser extent DC, but a big part of Marvel, especially with like the street level heroes, is for Matt and Frank or Matt and Luke or whoever to discuss, or Jessica Jones and Matt or whoever to discuss how like they're the same but different. To have those conversations of like, I'll go this far but not this far. This is why we're different. So like, I didn't think it was that quippy. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
But do you think that these 3 episodes that we're talking about did enough to make every cop in America feel ridiculous to wear the skull on any part of their costume?
It felt like the show pulled back at times. So like, no, like we did it enough, right? We shouldn't go even further, and they should have gone even further. Of showing, no, if you do this, you're a fucking tool bag asshole idiot.
Well, there's the final scene or towards the end, where Frank is tied up looking at all these people who specifically went and put on their Punisher skulls just to like confront him / ingratiate themselves to him, which is so weird. But I do get it, because if you tied me up and your intervention was to have everyone dress like me, but also have like a Ryan mask while you guys, that would work on me.
Yeah, I'm gonna just hard as a rock.
Yeah. I'm ripping through jeans. But him saying you guys are fucking clowns over and over again. I hope police force out there that think Frank Castle's a good guy, please understand that you're clowns.
Yeah, you're fucking clowns, no matter if you take turns to punch him one by one. It really felt like they drew straws. I'm like, no, you go last.
Whoa, hold on. It's my turn to punch. You got in front of me in line. That's not fair. You have to go back to the end of the line.
I think my issue overall with these 3 episodes, let's say, is like good ideas not always well executed. Mm-hmm. There's this scene threat that there's the black tie affair, which there a lot of cool stuff going on. Is Daniel's still doing his like rise to power? He's getting creepy. BB's actually playing him. Her and Gallo could be having a resistance. All that kind of worked for it. Like different crazy stuff is happening we love a gala here. And stuff is going on. And Matt like can't decide what to tell Heather or how fierce. And when he gets very furious, they're doing the very like classic spy movie. Well, we're going to dance and have a conversation. But then that scene lasted so long, it got fucking absurd in a dumb way.
Especially because there's a point. There's so much I loved about the Black Tie Gala, like you're saying, but I feel like the way that it was edited was sort of like, hey, audience, you know what we're trying to do, right?
Right. You've seen it, so we don't need it.
Can you make this slick in your head? Because the editing was all over the place. The transitions were all over the place. And my favorite one was the dancing was insane. Like, at no point would that have ever happened. And then Fisk is standing there next to Matt's girlfriend, just talking about them. But my favorite one was Matt and his girlfriend talking. And she's like, "You're not listening to me right now, are you?" And he's like, "No, I am." And then his ear goes to a scene across the room. And we're in that scene for 6 minutes. When we get back to Matt, he hasn't heard a word she said for 6 minutes.
That's a long time. That's a long time to do that.
I wanted to talk to you about the girlfriend, Margarita Laviva, who plays Heather Glenn. Do you know who this is?
No.
You don't know this actress?
I do not. What is she from?
Huh. So you grew up different than me, I guess. Because I was a big fan growing up of a movie called Adventureland.
She's in Adventureland?
Have you seen that movie?
I have seen that movie.
What do you mean she's in Adventureland? She's Lisa P.
She's Lisa P?
She's Lisa P. The one that like everybody in the entire amusement park is in love with. That's Lisa P.
That's fucking crazy. I celebrated Adventureland. Have not seen it in so long. Cannot believe that's Lisa P.
That's Lisa P. A couple of other things. Let's talk about Bullseye as a... He doesn't work here as a character. Does he even work as a plot device?
No.
Okay, next one.
We can dig into it.
Oh, no. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
It's. I think why no is he doesn't. Again, I think he was the best part in the intro of the whole season. But by here, the not knowing isn't cool because we have to wait another year. It's just like, well, I don't know what this guy wants to do. Is he trying to shoot Fisk? Is this part of his? And Matt planned this for some reason. Like it's baffling in a way, and isn't like, oh man, look at the cool clockwork they set up, so it has to go down this way. It is. It feels sloppy.
I mean, like, I really can't take any more these too many cooks in the kitchen. And the feeling here, even if we didn't, if that story never broke, right? If we never got that from the Hollywood Reporter,
right,
it would still be so clear because it's hard for me to enjoy episode 8, let's say, as much as I am, because I'm thinking White Tiger, right? Remember that shit? And I know there's another season coming. And then, but for Bullseye, like, we could have deleted a million scenes from this first season that like didn't matter to tell us what he's thinking about. Why is he shooting at this event and who is he shooting at? It's just not there.
And like, again, for the, like, because time has passed. And like I said, they forgot who Frank Castle kind of is. They also like, he could be super unhinged and scary in the OG Daredevil. And here they like, kind of went, remember how scary he can be? But he never showed us why Bullseye is scary. And I know we're never going to get like the fully comic book unhinged Bullseye. That's fine. But like
the crazed eyes.
I want to see, I think Wilson Bethel could do it. But yeah, it's just like not remembering. So it never felt like he pinned down. I am dumb because the pictures that are coming out in the next season make it look like it's a buddy comedy and Bullseye and Daredevil have to work together. And I could see really loving that because I'm an idiot.
Yeah. No. I mean, like, all we do is talk about how dead the Marvel franchise is and how excited we are for everything that's coming out in the future. But no, that new Fantastic Four trailer looks dope as shit, dude. Like, I'm so excited for that movie.
Retro future. Let's do it.
A couple of other things that I want to talk about. The subtitles credited the Spinowitz Experience with the Muzak version of Killing Me Softly. Ooh. There's a scene with like... Did you know that there was like... I just thought Muzak was like created by some robot or monster.
Muzak 3000.
Like bands competing for the Muzak money?
It's both sad, but also should we get into that? Can we make this song super boring?
I think we could, but only a cappella. We should do the pitch perfect version of Muzak. When Karen came back, were you surprised that she didn't say, oh, Matt, by the way, while I was gone, I got addicted to heroin and now I'm in porn?
Yeah, I have just recently read that run. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And then no. And I'm like, you know what? That would feel kind of a betrayal.
Thank you, Buck. Was a running theme in these 3 episodes. But like he is, with certain people, is starting to wear his welcome. Like, thank you, Buck, but get the fuck out of here. But then there's also like, I'm going to sit down to a dinner. And, you know, the cool thing for any villain to do is to casually eat dinner while Buck fucking shoots somebody behind you.
Right. And that's when we learned, because at first we're like, wait, did Vanessa send Tracksuit to kill her husband? And then no, they were working together. And like, which is less interesting. I kind of, if like her trying to become the Kingpin, could have been cool.
I gotta say though, dude, like if I was married to Vanessa, I'm not really sleeping at night. Like,
no, she is just as greedy and power hungry as he is.
Yeah, and when she sees like a deficiency, she will eliminate it.
And emotionlessly, he will rage and tell a boring story about his dad, about when he was a boy, but she will just handle it and get it done.
We have to we have to get to the Wilson Fisk of it all. I don't remember where you're at. I remember where Cassie's at, but like, are you fucking tired of this character and this performance?
Yes, because I think it's another one where they kind of forgot. And not like, I'll say Daredevil from the Netflix to even his version of She-Hulk, which I thought was delightful, to this. Like I think there's a core that Charlie Cox connects to in all of them. And I do think D'Onofrio, who is fucking obviously a great actor, I think keeps trying to do an impression.
D'Onofrio,
which, oh man, kids were mean, and when he was growing up, that's what they called him if he like stuttered or like couldn't think of something. But it feels like he's trying to remember what he did in the Netflix show and is doing an impression of that instead of just like, no, who is this character? I'll figure him out here.
I appreciate you have this rule of only referencing Mad TV once per episode, because that was a perfect Mad TV impression of Wilson Fisk opportunity for you, and you did not take it.
Look, there's a rule.
Speaking of the Punisher show, did Karen and Frank fuck?
I don't think so. I think he will only fuck the ghost of his dead wife under a sheet.
And if that ghost is a corpse that he kept in his house, that's his business. I would absolutely believe. But like, and then towards the end, we started to get some things of like, well, hey, Matt, did you hear my heartbeat when I saw you? So I feel like the Karen and Matt relationship is coming.
Yeah, I think it's coming back, and they do have more natural chemistry. And people, their internet was often like anti-Heather, which we instantly was at Lisa P, and then moved on. We could go back to Heather for a second.
Yeah, but she was Lisa P.
She was. Let's not forget. I don't think they were ever supposed to work. They both were people who were drowning for their own reasons. Who grabbed when they said "I love you," I went, "No. We've all seen a friend." Week 2 say I love you, and you're just no, I don't buy it. Like, she's digging in and he distracts her with shower sex. Like, all of this is not a healthy relationship. We're supposed to not like her. I feel like the internet doesn't like her. They say she's a bad character the way the internet didn't like Skylar. Sometimes romantic interests are supposed to be roadblocks, and that's okay. And our characters should have roadblocks.
I will admit my bias here. I saw what the internet said before I watched these 3 episodes, and the way that they talked about her was very Skylar-esque of like, oh, look at this normal person reacting normally to a fucking crazy situation. But after these episodes, she goes full MAGA.
Oh, she did that at that point. Yes.
That's the point where I was like, we don't have enough connection to you to like make this hit at all. Like, no. Even if this was like White Tiger's niece, then I feel like I have more connection to her than Heather.
Mm-hmm.
Moment of the week.
We moved on. Gala, who is that actor who plays the police commissioner? He always plays this kind of guy.
The guy who got his fucking face ripped apart on Disney Plus.
That's my moment of the week, man. And you finally I'm like, wait, I know ACAB, but now I'm on the police commissioner's side, sort of, because he's going to take down the Kingpin.
But he's against the police at this point, so he believes ACAB.
There you go. He believes ACAB. And he probably says, including me, because I did kind of let this happen. Not only does Fisk crush the police commissioner's skull in front of so many normal cops who barely flinch, the way they did it, it wasn't like what we've seen, which is like a can, so it just goes in. His head and skin rip in different ways. It was very realistic. I could feel like they hired the guys from Mythbusters to do this 1,000 times to get it perfectly.
And Fisk does this thing of like, tripping a little bit, like, oh, this head did not break exactly like I thought it would. Like, it was a watermelon, so he like trips a little bit in ripping the jaw off while a temple goes towards the other temple.
Ruled.
And some cops, he brought an audience, right?
Of course,
he's always like against like, well, no PR today. I don't want to do the fucking go to a middle school and have a conversation thing. But he made sure to bring an audience, so there was enough PR for this moment where he tore a man's head off. But there was some shots of like cops being like grossed out or a little nauseous. Not enough. Not most of them were totally fine.
Hey, you're all armed. One of you could probably stop this. Even if like we all have hated our bosses one time or another. I don't know if we would just let their heads be crushed.
And we're not saying that anybody should do anything to save the country that we live in, even if you're armed. We're just saying that in this scene, in this fictional scene,
yes,
somebody should have
maybe take out the Skull Crusher.
Right. And I think that everything would be better if this person was dead. But no, they are bought in. They're just it's like a cult, Mike.
He gave them all cool vests with the Punisher skull on it.
Isn't that it? Fucking okay, my moment of the week. And I'm fucking disgusted by this. Like, this is the part that's hard to watch because it's so poorly written, but also stupid. Where the commissioner, the guy who has a watermelon head, is like, "Hey, my policeman, maybe you shouldn't be doing this," to this reporter. And the one guy is like, "Oh, what? Doing this?" And then puts his hand in boiling
fries the reporter's
deep fries his hand. It is hard to be in
and the commissioner just lets it happen.
Yeah.
Instead of, I don't know, commish that shit.
hey, checklist up. Checklist from the commission, not from the Shield.
Yes. Because what you're facing, it's a checklist v. checklist scenario right now.
You know what I realized the other day? You know why we're fucking incredible people? When somebody says, "Oh, you watch Prestige TV? You watch The Shield?" We're like, "Hell yeah, we watch The Shield with the Coulson." Fuck yeah. That show's awesome.
Coulson and Daisy and Fitzsimmons.
With the Daisy and with the Fitzsimmons? No, that's never what they're talking about. I would love for BB Urich to be the hero of season 2.
Yeah. I could see a whole thread line and like, it's because they're younger and they're actually caring and doing better. BB Urich, and then I think I know this because of comics, not because of the show. Angela. Is that Angela, White Tiger's niece? Like, it was just like, this is they should be part of the army. Can we talk about that before the internet hates that the army wasn't Spider-Man and fucking Moon Knight and Jessica Jones and Colleen Wing?
Oh, but look, I understand that budgets are what they are, and we got to film this quick. But having the army be a 65-year-old bartender, Cherry, and then like 2 rogue cops,
2 random uniforms,
it makes me a little nervous about the future.
It was a weird thing to have a whole season be about vigilantes, and we have 2.5 vigilantes the whole time. Give us Night Crasher, give us Rage.
Oh, Night Thrasher?
Night Thrasher, sorry, yeah.
On his skateboard of vengeance?
Wouldn't that be hilarious? But use it like Jessica Jones used Wizard. Like, yes, right. This guy's kind of pathetic. He's a kid on a skateboard.
But like, make him awesome as shit. Kevin Feige is not like, you better not use Night Thrasher. You could have absolutely put him in. Did you think it was weird when the commish got into the taxi and he was like, "Take me to the precinct" or whatever, and it was a different driver? It was a black dude, and he was like, "My name's Luke."
Yeah. I guess there can be more than one Luke.
I guess. But only one black guy per season, and just happened to be named Luke. That is Daredevil Born Again, season 1. Despite everything we've said, we're going to be so excited for season 2.
Oh,
we're going to be
idiots.
Ridiculous babies. Mike, can you please tell us about some websites?
I would, if you want more of everything we do, I would love for you to go to popfilter.co. It's all the stuff we make goes there. It's the hub. Bookmark that. That's open. Some people read the newspaper in the morning. You should read popfilter.co. And it's mostly listening, but it is articles that are decades old. If you look at it, go, these idiots have a website that looks this sharp. How do they do it? Go to cybersprout.net. They are going to help you make the best fucking website. They're built for WordPress. They handle backups and security. There's drag and drop tools. If you want to handle it, they'll teach you. If you don't want to handle it, they'll do it for yourself. They are your partner for the digital world. That is cybersprout.net.
Movie of the Year is another podcast you can listen to. Mike, where are we at right now? We are at the end of 96.
Yes.
And you were the host of that season. Like,
I was.
What do you think? Did it go well? Is it bullshit?
Pretty good season, I would say.
Do you have a prediction? Because I think that as this comes out, or maybe like a couple days after this comes out, the finale is where we're going to reveal the movie of the year.
You want me to say what I think the movie might be?
Yeah. Is it Mars Attacks?
That's what I was going to fucking say. It's Mars Attacks. So now what do I got?
Movie of the Year where Mars Attacks rules and Independence Day drools. Mike, social media.
At Your Pop Filter on Instagram, and we're Pop Filter Co. on YouTube.
And of course, please email us. If you have any questions or issues with anything that we said tonight, email us at contact@popfilter.co. We have a big email show coming up soon, I think.
20 weeks.
Oh, yeah, just 5 little months and your email will get read. So start thinking of those emails now.
Write them. I don't give a shit.
Next week, Mike, Spider-Man is doing animated things. Who do you hope is the villain of this next episode?
Hope against hope. I know we haven't seen in a while. It would be fucking stupid to bring him up. I hope it's Mysterio. I hope he comes back and has a whole new thing.
Do you know who I kind of want? Juggernaut.
Juggernaut versus Spider-Man, bitch.
Yeah. For Mike, is my new crafting thing. I'm doing a lot of Formica lately.
Is that floors? Is that like fake floors? No, that's Pergo.
Honestly, nobody knows what Formica is. Not a single person on the planet. My name is Ryan. Enough said. We did it.